Slanted?
A little slanted.
Here, I can fix it. Like that? Is it straight now?
It's straight.
What a mission. Hi, guys.
Well, good afternoon, everyone.
It's been interesting getting this back up and running.
And it is Monday, March 23rd, and we are
Hi,
back.
Elise. We're back, bitches.
And this is going to be, I guess, episode 1 of the new format.
The quarantine
We always
season.
have a new format, but this is going to be episode 1 of our daily show. Because we're going to go every day. What are we going to talk about today? Number 1, we were just at Breadman. We're going to talk about the real things here.
The real things.
We're going to talk about fitness.
All that junk.
We'll talk about that. But we have other places that we talk about only that. So we're going to talk about the real
Hi,
deal.
Jen.
We went to Breadman for coffee. Because
Hi, Monica.
I need to have coffee. And we had been to Breadman months ago. And we ate so much that day that we hadn't
We never went back.
We never went back. It was awesome.
Too much.
It was awesome. Shout out to Breadman. But we just ate so much that day that we were like,
I want to show them my thing.
okay, she's gonna show you what she got. And today I was like, man, I really, we were on the way to do the show, and I was like, I really want a coffee, and I didn't want to drive all the way to the usual spot for coffee. I said, why don't we just go there, and if they have something sweet that you want,
Hi, Melissa.
we'll get it. That's how I got her to say yes.
Mind you, we were getting dressed, and I was like, damn, like, I just had lunch, and I really need something sweet. So I went in my purse, and I just grabbed 2 Tic Tacs. Because I'm like, I'm going to be good, and I'm going to have 2 Tic Tacs.
So I got her to go, and they're only letting 2 people in at a time. Or 2 people at the counter at a time.
Yeah.
So we sent Bree in so that she could see if she wanted something. Nothing there appetized her. And I went in, I ordered her coffee, and she comes in. And
Look what I found. You ready, you guys? Check this out. This is a Nutella and cheese thing.
Pastry.
Magic.
Pastry.
Melissa, we are so excited too. Hi, everyone. Anyway, it's going down. Is this going to be pre or post workout?
So we worked out earlier. So here's the thing. So we were talking last week, and with all this stuff going on, the one thing that we can control for sure is that we have time to work out.
Yes, lots of time.
Lots of time to work out. And
lots of time to do all of the things that we all normally don't have time for.
right.
There's lots of time now. And that's, I think, one of the main things everyone complains about is like, oh, I don't have time. I don't have time for this. I don't have time for that. We have lots of time. And for us, working out is a priority.
Right.
So the first thing that we want to fill the extra time with is extra workouts.
Right. So we also had a meeting last week with the people that promote the shows, the competition stuff. And the competitions are all on, over the summer and stuff. That's weeks and weeks ahead. So why not take this time to double down, triple down on our workouts and stuff. So we talked about it on Friday. And during our workout on Friday, I was like, what would be great? If we could do all of the things that we always said that we wanted to do with our schedule and workouts, right? So every time that we go on vacation or anytime that we're out of town at a conference or something, we have to work out in the morning.
I love how you rephrase vacation because we don't vacation.
We don't vacation.
We go out of town for work and make a vacation out of it.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
So we have to get it in the morning because if we don't, then the day's shot, right? So every time that we're out of town, and we work out in the morning, she's like, I wish that we could do this in the morning. I'm like,
I just love working out in the morning.
I'm like, you realize
energy.
We have a gym, right? That you could do that, but it never happened. So I said, well, first we can work out in the morning. So that'll be 1. When we were in New York in December, those long walks through the city were so great. Even though it was freezing, even though it was cold, the walks felt so good, especially after eating, that when we came back, we started walking again all the time. And with the schedule and everything, we lost it, but we were like, man, we really be great to get back to walking.
We love walking, and it's a great chance also for us to like talk, like we talk about the day.
Usually our meetings, when we meet and we're talking about what we're going to do, it's during a walk.
Our best conversations.
It's the best because you're moving. You're not like,
totally.
Is this conversation going to end? Like,
you feeling that?
No. But
hold up. We have a different problem.
Listen, never. But we do get more conversation when we're talking, which is a lot of times why I record videos talking.
Yeah.
Even on the treadmill, I record better.
My coffee's done. I'm so sad.
Anyway. So walking would be number 2. And then I said, you know what would be great if we got another workout in. So that would be 3. One workout to work on the specifics, you know, some of the strength training. And then we would do our walk. And then another workout where we could do all the funky, crazy stuff that's always in my head, combining workouts, putting them together.
Yeah.
And just getting a really good sweat, maybe to de-stress.
Yeah.
Nothing specific, just, you know, like the other day we did a 300.
No weights or anything.
No weights or anything.
Something you can literally do
it was
home.
something that I sent to one of our groups, our contest prep group. And I was like, you guys should do this today and see how long it takes. It was just one of those, it was like a challenge workout, like just, you know, kick your ass.
Yeah. So that's our new plan.
So that is our plan.
That's the first thing we're doing with lots of time.
Right.
Is a walk and 2 workouts every day.
One that we were doing no matter what.
And second one. Right.
But having something sweet like that kind of fits in because if you're going to be moving more, right? Like you've got more activity going on, then you want to fuel, and you don't always want to fuel with that, but why not if you've got the room?
I do. I always want to fuel with that.
Why not if you got the room, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, that's how we got here today.
Yes.
So we were chatting about what we were going to talk about day 1.
So by the way, also with the extra time, we have, so the workouts is one of the things that we want to do. And doing that much is allowing us a few different treats, whether we're cooking it or picking it up and stuff like that. Setting aside specific things, family-wise, is something that we're also doing with more time.
We played Uno with the kids last night.
Yeah, we're doing like a game. Like
Junior 1.
3 like legit one.
Like legit
It's
one.
ridiculous. But we are doing like a family game night at night with more time, obviously. The other thing that we're doing with more time is this. So we kind of like sat down and we're like, with more time. I mean, we're still pretty busy just because we have a lot of like remote clients and it's not just the gym. It's also like all the nutrition coaching stuff that we do over the phone. But we wanted to make sure that we filled our extra time with things that we really enjoyed and that kept us connected to everyone in a time where we really can't fully connect how we're used to. So the reason why we're doing this every day is because we've
always wanted to.
Yeah. We wanted to add this the moment that we had more time, so here we are. And also because there's just so much out there about everything that's going on, and it feels like whether you turn on the TV or you open your phone and start scrolling through social media, like it's consuming our lives. Like all these news, right? And all these things are just, that's all we see. So we're like, how about we just get away from that for a little bit?
For a second.
You know?
So, day 1, we wanted to talk about, one of the questions that I got over the weekend a lot was, when's the best time to do this? Or how is the best way to do that? In reference to, like, listen, I've sent everybody workouts to do, right? And if you're on our email list, I've been trying to send a workout every day that you can do at home.
We have the new software.
For our members, we launched a new software. Like we're doing whatever we can to make sure that everybody has stuff that you can do at home, which is all super effective, by the way. Yeah. Don't think that because you don't have weights that you're not going to get the most out of it. So that's 1. 2, the question has that's been coming up is, when is the best time or which is the best way? And the answer is simple. It always is, right?
To you.
Super simple. The best time to do it or the best way to do it is whenever you're going to do it. All right? And what that means is, you know, don't complicate your life with trying to accommodate something that's outside of your norm.
Yeah.
Don't worry about doing it at a specific time. You know when the best time to do anything is? When you're going to do it. So if it's
when
better...
you're most likely to do it.
when you're most likely to do it. When's the best time to do cardio? Whenever you're more likely to do it. Because getting it done is more important than trying to figure out the specifics about when. So if you're more likely to work out in the morning because you have more energy or more time or more desire, then do it then. If you're more likely to do it at night, I have somebody that I coach that works out at midnight, you know, do it then. Yeah. It doesn't matter.
Just get it done.
But just get it done.
And that's the thing, I think, with this new norm, right? Because I don't, like we were talking about, it's not really like, it's here to stay for a little bit. This is not going to last 2 weeks. And everyone's
It's been 2 weeks.
Right. Everyone's adjusting to this new normal. And two things happen because I can say that I've even experienced. The first one is a lot of chaos just because there are so many changes. So it's like, we can't really keep our normal schedule. So how do we do a new schedule? And the problem with implementing a whole new schedule with everything being different is that it's too many changes all at once.
Right.
So for me, I'm a very all or nothing person and I'm a very extreme, like I'm on one side or the other. So for me...
Ask her to talk about it. Ask her what that means.
For me,
no.
I went from scattered to like, if I can't
Type
do
it in.
If I can't do it exactly like this, then fuck it, like forget it. There's just no point. What I realized was exactly what he's saying. It's great. Like this is a great time to do the things that we've wanted to do, how we wanted to do them with more time. It is a great time to implement new things, create new habits, have a new schedule. Even for things that you want to keep after this time, when things do go back to normal, right? Like things that you want to keep going with. But at the same time, like don't get so caught up in like, I need to get this down to a T. This is how this new thing needs to go, because it may or may not, because there's still a lot of unknowns.
Every day they're changing everything,
right?
Every day they close something else. Every day something is not essential anymore.
Right. So all of that to go back to your point of like, when are you willing to do it? When are you most likely going to do it? Are you working it around everything and everyone around you and getting it done? And on a day where you fail to do it at the time you planned or the time that's best, that day there might be another, time that's better. Jen, don't start with me. She's like, what do you mean?
Tell them what you mean.
What do I mean? You tell them.
So
you analyze me more.
So here's her logic.
Here we go.
So here's her logic with the all or nothing. Let's say...
First of all, once he speaks, I want to know who is like that. Who can relate to how I am?
So let's say, like right now, like I mapped out our whole week. Workouts, and I included a cheat day for the weekend, Saturday or Sunday, right? So let's hypothetically say that Sunday is going to be our cheat day. And let's say it was a cheat meal. Sunday night, we're going to have a cheat dinner, right? She wakes up and she starts going through her head. She's like, well, you know what? If I'm going to cheat tonight, I might as well cheat the whole day. And there went the day.
Like for me...
The entire day is shot because one decision later.
So for me, like I had the Tic Tacs because I wasn't going to have anything out of my plan today. The moment that he allowed me to have the Nutella, I'm like, well, can I have like Chinese?
What else can I have?
Can I have Chinese for dinner? Like...
But that's not what that means. All it means is at the moment...
Who else is all or nothing? I want to know.
Listen, and that's fine. Some people are. And you know what's funny? I ask people all the time, if you are like that, then don't allow room for those things to come in.
Yeah, don't take me to the bread store. Bread is my love language, and he takes me to Bread Man.
The bread there is really good.
Fault.
The bread there is really good.
Uh-huh.
But if you're like that, where it's all or nothing, then don't put yourself in a situation where you're just gonna, temptation's gonna get the best of you. Don't do it. So look, Deborah says it's her. Jen.
You see? Look, here's the thing too. Like, you also have to know what your gateway stuff is.
Yeah.
My gateway food is bread. Like, we bought a bunch of bread over the weekend because we made pasta, we made sandwiches.
So we went to Publix.
So we have we have 2 little rolls left on top of the microwave, and I've been eyeing those rolls the entire day. I'm like, don't do it. Don't do it. I see bread and I need to eat it. Like, that's, like, there's nothing else. Like, there's ice cream in the freezer. I have some ice cream. I'm good. Like, I can have a little bit of almost anything and be okay. Bread, it needs to be eaten until it's finished.
We went to Publix yesterday, and there was bread, fresh bread, everywhere.
Deborah, I hear you.
Everywhere. Like, I've never seen that much bread.
And you walked in and you smelled it. And
freshly baked brioche, little buns,
and there was a stand of all the fresh breads. I'm like, we gotta get breads. I mean, when does this ever happen?
Crazy.
Yeah.
So we got bread.
3 different types.
So we did bread.
He said, do you want to do this or do you want to do that? I'm like, I want to do both. He's like, all right.
Anyway, but where I was going with that was...
See, look, Deborah says my day's over after the cheap breakfast. I'm with you. For me, too, a lot of times, like, if I know, like like Saturday is gonna be a cheat day, like Friday I already start being like, tomorrow is like a cheat day.
Like,
so it's like, fuck it,
out,
it's the weekend, and now my Saturday cheat day or meal turned into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So,
and that's okay.
Your girlfriend?
And that's okay. You know, I'm not like that.
Yeah, he's not. He could snap, and I'm like, why?
I remember one time I was going to start a new plan. It was like the middle of a Tuesday, and I was like,
the middle of the day. Who starts a new plan the middle of the day? Like, the day already started. It can't possibly be perfect. You already halfway through the day.
Right now.
No, I need a fresh day. It doesn't need to be a Monday, but I need a fresh day.
Yeah. So you got to figure out how you are and how you do it, and whatever the case might be. Mm-hmm. But what I want you to get out of that is, if your plan is to eat an apple, don't worry about if it's red, if it's green, if it's peeled, if it's got to be cut. Eat the freaking apple. If it's going to be a workout. Doesn't matter what time it is, when it is. Yeah. Do whatever it is that you have to do. And if you're a part of our community, our fitness community, meaning you get our newsletter or you are in one of our groups or something like that, and you have a workout to do for that day, just get it done.
Yeah.
You know what?
But I think people think that if they're not drenched in sweat and their heart rate is not going, because again, I can relate, and I was talking to someone the other day who said the same thing, then you're not really getting an effective workout. And that's not true necessarily, right?
That's not true. If you worked 10 miles a mile, let's say if you worked a mile from work and you had to walk there every day, it doesn't matter how long it takes you still got to get there, right? So the length of time or the effort that it takes is not the thing. But what I was going to say was, I have a few people right now that I sent 10-minute workouts to, and their goal is to complete that 10-minute segment, and they have multiple 10-minute segments throughout the day. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, it adds up to 30 or 40 minutes. Yeah. Now, you may not feel like you got this all out, epic, mm-hmm. Drenched in sweat, out of breath workout. But let me tell you, it adds up. It compounds, If you woke up in the morning and you did 10 squats, right? And you did 10 squats every minute for 10 minutes. That's 100 squats. Not a big deal. Mm-hmm. But if you did that again on Wednesday and you did that again on Friday, that's 300 squats at the end of the week. Mm-hmm. If you did that every week at the end of the month, that's 1,200 squats. That adds up. Yeah, 100%. That's what I think
people are always looking at the moment versus the day or the week or the month. Everything compiles and adds up to all of that. And I'll say too, for everyone that's used to going to the gym, whether you're coming to our classes or going to a gym or whatever it is that you're doing, even when what you're doing is always switched up, like our classes are always different, right? Your body is still in a way adjusted to what you're doing. Mm-hmm. Changing this whole thing up and being outside and doing walks or doing sprints and doing workouts that don't really involve a lot of weight or different kinds of weight is great. Like now your body has a chance to be like, wait a minute, like what the hell's going on? And that's always good, I think, for the body and for the mind. Like switching things up sometimes really just gives it like variety, mm-hmm. Variety, spice of life.
So, and in this time, right, with all that variety stuff said, in this time, if you find that with all the uncertainty, you don't know what to do next, mm-hmm. right? I think that we start tiptoeing around whether or not we're going to do it or not do it.
Right.
So it seems, and I'm only gauging this, with the people that I talk to, right? Mm-hmm. It seems like with all the uncertainty, no one really knows what they're committing to or not. So, and I think that that's being applied to the things that you should have committed to anyway, like working out and eating right? Mm-hmm. So if you're tiptoeing around whether or not you should start working out, don't. Just start working out. And when things go back to normal, whatever the new normal is, we'll get back to normal. Yeah. But in the meantime, you've got to figure out that things are not, tomorrow it is not going to change, and it doesn't look like it's going to be the end of this week either. Yeah. So might as well commit, even if you committed to it, week by week.
This is a great time.
This is a great time to get rid of all of the things that are getting in your way. Mm-hmm.
You, AKA.
AKA you. And say, listen, I'm going to do this. At the very least, we can control that. No one's going to tell you not to do push-ups at home. Yeah. No one's going to tell you not to squat at home. You could practice social distancing at home if you're squatting and doing push-ups. No one has control over that but you, so you can control that.
And I want to add to that too, two things. One, taking fitness and nutrition and all of that aside, right? Like taking away that equation altogether. The same way that this is the time to do that, to get these habits down, this is also the time for a lot of other things. Like, how many projects have you not gotten into because you haven't had the time, right?
Yeah, 100%.
How many habits have you wanted to create? How much time with your kids? How much planning for the rest of the year? I don't know, like insert thing. Like this is the time for all of it. Finding the blessings, finding the silver lining of this whole thing. We've been gifted time is really what this comes down to. Like maybe everything else is a shit show and we don't know what's going on, and depending on what you hear, it'll start to drive you nuts. We've been gifted time. If nothing, we have been gifted time.
Right.
So do right by that time. Because I'll say, like, the number one excuse for anyone not doing anything is time.
Always time. Right?
It may not be the real reason, but it's the one people use.
Right.
So here it is, time. Like, let's fucking do it, right? So 100%. That's fitness, nutrition, and everything else in your life. The other thing I wanted to say is, because this group is open to like everyone, this is not just people in our workout community and nutrition, I think it'd be really cool to set up, and I thought of this while you were talking, to set up some sort of like accountability, I don't want to say group or page because I don't want to add another one, but challenge, where it's like, let us know which one of you wants to start something new or wants to create the habit of going on the walks or doing the workout or following meal plan or drinking water every day, whatever, right? Like if there are habits around nutrition and around exercise, around just health and well-being that you want to implement, how can we create a space where we can hold each other accountable for it? What do you think?
That's good. Yeah. If you downloaded the app, that's on the app today.
Right. But I'm saying for people that are not our members, right?
Yes.
So for people that are not a part of our workout family, nutrition coaching family, content prep family, that are just a part of our Lais and The Coach family, let us know. And I think it'd be really cool to set up something where everyone could hold each other accountable for what they say they're going to do.
And whether you're watching it or listening to it, because we're recording it for iTunes and Spotify and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Share it and listen. If it helps one person, I've always said, I've been doing this a really long time. And I've always said, if you're able to help one person, like sometimes that's more than anybody does, right?
100%.
So if this helps anybody, then that's awesome,
And that's why I wanted to extend it on here, because the people who are, like I said, in our workout community or who are in any of the things that we do aside from this, they are being taken care of. Right? We have put a bunch of things in place to make sure that they don't skip a beat, to make sure that there's extra workouts, that there's extra ways to stay engaged and motivated and on your game. But for those of you who are not a part of that community, and maybe you're not on your game, right? Like how can we help you stay on your game? Not necessarily tell you what to do or how to do it, but how can we be your like accountability partners?
Right. So I'm good with that.
Okay, cool.
Now, stop talking about fitness, because on this show we talk about a little bit of everything, right? How about them conspiracy theories?
Oh snap! Don't get them started.
I am not going to get into
Do not get them started.
I am not going to get into them, but I get a kick out of all of it.
What do you guys think? I really am so curious, because with all this social distancing, there's really not a lot of conversations being held these days other than between us. And we think a lot alike and we watch the same stuff. So I think a lot of our conversations are very just the same.
Right. We
feel the same way about most things. So I'm so sad that I can't come into the gym and be like, how's it going? So what do you think? And how, because that's usually our time to like socialize. And it's a great time for all this techie social media stuff, because we can still socialize.
Right.
I want to know what you guys think. Like conspiracy theory,
there's some bullshit
Mother Nature. Like, what are your thoughts on all of this? Like, not how you feel about it, because I think everyone feels the same way.
Confused,
scared. Anxiety, scared, not knowing, but then like looking for the positives. And like, how exciting is it going to be to walk into a grocery store and find toilet paper, go into a restaurant? Like, is it going to be weird next time you're in a group of a bunch of people for you to like hug and kiss?
So
like, how do we go forward from this?
Over the weekend, we were talking about, on Sundays, we were going dancing, right? So we were going dancing on Sundays.
Oh my gosh.
And the place that we go to on Sundays, there are a lot of people in the community that is highly, you know.
They're all really old. Like, that's really what it is. They're all like over 70.
That's not true.
For sure. Is Jen here? Back me up, Jen. No. Mother Nature, Monica says.
But
Same.
either way, so the place that we go to dance on Sundays, it's early in the day, and there is an older community. There's a lot of seniors there that go dancing on Sundays. It's super cool to watch.
It's so cute.
It is super cool. So we were talking yesterday, like the first...
Next time we go, let's make a video about it in this page.
So we were saying yesterday, like, that's one of the first places we want to go, because number one, are people going to dance with gloves on?
And masks.
Number two,
are they not going to touch?
Are the seniors going to be there, like, jamming it out? I think, my thought is that those parties are still going down. Underground style. I think the seniors are getting together.
I would not be surprised.
Because, let me tell you something, that place is like a temple. Like,
yeah, that's their thing. They're always there.
I've gone to that place on Sundays since Bree was like 3 or 4 years old. And the same people are there, 15 years later. Mm-hmm. So I think that those people are underground dancing, but I do look forward to going there as soon as they open back up and watching that play out.
And I'll say too, that made me think about this, and we talk about this all the time lately. Who thinks that all of this is causing more harm than good? Like, these people are older. This is their temple. This is their time. This is their space. They do this every Sunday. Because we didn't go every Sunday, but every time we went to the same people. You've taken that away from them. And I know that they're the group that are high risk and all that stuff. But taking away everyone's, like, social time, jobs, ability to get out of the house, their lifestyle, their normalcy, is it causing more of a problem than if we did let this cold kind of play out, right? For the most part. And then those who are high risk stayed home instead of everyone staying home.
There's a lot of thoughts.
What do you guys think?
Anyway.
But I'm excited to go back.
So we are going to be on every day. I don't know if it'll be at the same time, but we will try to announce it, and we will try to stick to the schedule where we're on all the time.
Yeah.
And we'll do the show in 30-minute segments since we're going to be on every day, and we'll chat. And we will...
I agree with you. The news have created more panic.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more. It's literally their job.
So we're going to try to talk about... Obviously, we're going to talk about working out and stuff.
Yeah, we'll talk about everything. And if there's something you guys want to hear about or talk about, let us know.
Yeah, you know how... We've been putting on hold the whole parenting show. But, if you knew...
There is no better time for the shit show.
If you knew what we did recently, it would be... Woof. Anyway. With Junior? And what he's allowed to do now?
Yeah, you know what? You gotta pick your battles.
Tomorrow. We'll talk about it tomorrow.
You gotta pick your battles.
We will talk about what we did with Junior tomorrow, and how it's come back to bite us.
I don't think so. It is what it is.
I don't know. We'll see how
you
it goes.
weren't really on board with it to begin with.
I was not on board with it, but I am very supportive.
You supported me.
I like to see things play out.
He likes to say, "I told you so," but that's not that one. This one specifically is not going to work because I don't see that as a problem.
See the road ahead.
It's not a problem. It's not doing anything bad.
All right, we'll see. We'll talk about it tomorrow. It is Monday. It is great to chat with all of you.
I agree. So Deborah said one thing is to be informed, the other is to create panic and fear. I completely agree. Getting the news and staying informed and getting inundated and letting that control your everything. What we listen to, what we watch, who we hang around, all of that influences the way that we feel, the way that we think, the way that we do anything. And just like at any other time, we always say, listen to positive things and surround yourself with good people. And right, like that matters always. And the news are not like an exception.
Yeah.
So like being inundated with stuff is very different than being informed.
I said it to Bree today. Bree's on TikTok all the time, so she is dancing nonstop all the time.
It's so fucking weird.
It's funny.
Like, she could be in a corner there and she's like doing her dance.
But whatever. But I said, listen, Bree, like all you do is watch these TikTok videos.
Yeah.
Like you don't consume anything else, right? So by default, that's how you're gonna feel, that's what you're gonna do. Like if all you're doing is consuming the same stuff, it's gonna work you out more and more. So again, you have a lot of time. Take time to consume other things,
Yes.
like this. Or other things. If you want suggestions, we'll post, some of the stuff that we listen to and watch. And but that's all we got today.
How fucking awesome! High five!
Boom! 30 minutes.
Winning. First of all, we're never on time, and we weren't on time today. We'll work on it.
We'll work on it.
We said 30 minutes and it's 29:47.
Boom.
Count your wins every single day before you go to sleep at night. Whatever night ritual you have, whether you pray or whatever it is that you do, count your wins.
Eat your food, drink your
This is
water.
a win. This is a freaking win. All right, guys. It's been awesome chatting with you, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Peace out, everybody.
Raymond, kasi?